What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Sanan or SB Lens, and today we're coming with a different type of video today. So we're gonna start off. Obviously, you guys read the title. We're gonna start off by showing you guys how to do some graduation as well as tapering into the graduation. So first things first, kind of analyze the head and make sure everything's saturated before we start mapping out our sections. So right now, what I'm doing is a radial section, which essentially just helps me see and separate the front of the head from the back of the head. And then I'm gonna go ahead and also section off the side panels, as you guys can see. So we're gonna start off by taking our first section. I'm gonna come diagonal back and I'm gonna kind of elevate upwards. That way I can kind of see the guide that I'm working with, which is the shortest longest piece, and that's kind of the length that we established upon consultation. So I'm gonna set in my first line, and then I'm just gonna speed this up so you guys aren't too bored. So now that we've set in our initial guide for the graduation, I'm gonna come above the occipital bone and I'm gonna come in with downwards elevation, because now instead of graduating, we are gonna start layering the hair. So that's typically when we're above a point in the head, whether it's the parietal ridge or the occipital bone, and the head starts to kind of protrude out or round off. That's when we're gonna start our layering, because we want to maintain a little bit more of that weight. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to both sides of the back of the head. And then this is just a little trick I learned over kind of years of trial and error. And basically I'm kind of using a feather razor now instead of the scissors, just to give it a little bit more texture and movement while connecting the top piece kind of towards the crown, just because that's a little bit trickier, as well as majority of the time you kind of see that there's a little bit too much weight there. So this kind of allows us to kind of control that, as well as give it some more texture and make it flow a little bit better as well. So now we're going to kind of move on to the sides, and what I like to do, because I'm tapering this in, is I like to go a little bit tighter with my first initial guide while I'm connecting it from the sides and the back. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to comb everything backwards, and I'm going to take my first guide from the back of everything that we just cut, and we're going to kind of travel that towards the front while my body shape moves with the head, because when I'm graduating the hair and I'm creating a round shape, one of my reference points is that I need to be 90 degrees from the head. So the only way that allows that is if I'm moving my body rather than moving the client, which could be a little bit different when we're cutting square layers or triangle layers, but when we're cutting round, that's the goal, that's what we're looking at. So now we're going to move on to the top of the head, and this is just my profile section. I kind of split it down the middle, and that was kind of where I'm creating my initial guide. This one, the length that you choose can kind of be based off your consultation with your client and just based off how they want it to sit on their head. That's kind of what the length I would keep in mind while I'm cutting this is. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a profile section from the middle, and then I'm going to split that, take another vertical section onto the left side, and then just kind of rinse and repeat on both sides of the head until I've connected the sides and the top together. Okay, I should put this out there that styling is one part of my game that I'm really trying to work on. So what I kind of do is I try to just go high speed and high heat or medium heat, just to kind of dry out the hair. And then that's just to prep me for my clipper work. As you can see, I'm gonna grab my number 3, and I'm just gonna go straight into that graduation and just kind of flick out towards the end, because I don't want to create any harsh lines. I'm gonna follow that with my 1.5, just to kind of debulk it a little bit more, and then just flow it right into the 3. Gonna put in my bald line really quick and bald that out. Then with my open guard, lever open, just gonna go in about 1 inch, create a line. I do like to keep that bottom a little bit more bulky, just so that's easier to take out towards the end. And I'm gonna go with my half guard, 2 notches closed, and then I'm gonna follow that with my 1.5 closed, just so that it kind of blends in and we keep that darkness. I'm gonna line it up before I take out that last line, just so that I can see and kind of satisfy myself and just watch everything come together. And I'm just going to repeat all the same steps I did on the back on both sides of the head, just to kind of finish off the cut. And right here is a little trick I like to do, where I check underneath my C cups, just so that I know that I'm not trying to push them back. And just wanted to tell you guys I really liked making this video, just because I know when I was first learning how to cut hair, there wasn't that many videos about scissor work and things like that. But I really hope that this video kind of helped you guys grasp a little bit of knowledge about scissor work and graduation. Like, so I know certain terms I threw out were a little bit more technical, but I feel like it's really important to know, so that when you're having a consultation or anything with the client, and when you use those terms, it kind of builds that trust and confidence in you and your skills. And yeah, I hope this video really helped you guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Peace.